Well, this is the 2012 Titan, the SL edition, and if you look at the front of the vehicle right here, you notice that what they did is that they wanted the vehicle to be a little bit more aggressive, so they kind of stretched the nose out a little bit here. Got chrome fascia up in the front, sport lamps. Coming up this way. This is Nissan's V8 engine. Nissan is the only manufacturer who ever had an engine rated in the top 10 for 14 years in a row. Now that's our V6 engine, the VQ design, and this is not the VQ V6, but it does have a lot of the same qualities. Some of that would be the timing chain, not a timing belt, that with double platinum tip spark plugs, 105,000 miles before your first tune-up is due. This entire engine is mounted on liquid-filled breakaway motor mounts. Now what that does is it absorbs the vibration of the engine. When you're driving down the road, you get a smoother, quieter ride. For your safety though, if you have a front-end collision and it's serious enough, those motor mounts will break away so the engine will drop towards the ground instead of being pushed all the way through the compartment. Okay? If you look inside, look at your wiring harness. See how everything is double wrapped and insulated? It's taped up, tied off down, so that vibrations inside the compartment don't loosen any kind of connections, and the insulation, if we have bad weather, water doesn't splash up inside there and foul out your electrical system. All of your vital fluids right here are in a clear container. Just at a glance you can see what your fluid status is. Okay, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, your dipsticks right here to check the oil, fill the oil right here, and then your transmission has got a nut on it to lock it off. Okay, it's a sealed unit. Just leave it alone. You don't need to touch it all. This whole compartment pretty much is designed to be maintenance free, but your service department and our store will take care of any of your things like oil changes, tire rotations, stuff like that. If you do want to do some of the stuff yourself, notice that everything is on the outside of the compartment. It's really easy to get to. Air filter right here. It's pretty much the only thing you're going to mess with right there. That's your windshield wiper. Okay?
I said this is a V8. What is the horsepower?
You got 317 horsepower, 385 torque.
How much can I tow with this horsepower?
9,200 pounds.
I can tow with this 9,200 pounds.
Yep. Solid. Very strong up in the front end. This is what I call a hard nose. You do have crumple zones and everything up in the front. You can take a very serious collision up in the front end of this, and your passenger compartment will remain relatively intact. You come around this way, your lens covers are made out of Lexan. This is the same stuff they make football helmets out of. It's scratch resistant and shatterproof, and unlike some of the other vehicles that you see driving around, these aren't going to turn yellow. Probably the worst one I've ever seen was the Ford Taurus. The cars looked like they had cataracts. Okay?
Now I got a foot up in my family.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Right here, you look 20-inch tires.
Oh, yeah?
Oversized. Your rims, these are double forged aluminum alloy. It's actually stronger than steel, so when you're driving around uptown and stuff like that, you hit the potholes, it's going to be able to absorb the impact a little bit better. And these don't flex like steel does. So when you're driving, if you do an aggressive turn, you'll see that the vehicle has more of a pivoting sensation up at the front end instead of that rolling. Okay? Your rotors and your calipers are cooled because these are vented. It also keeps the conglomeration of brake dust from building up inside of there. Now your valve stem is not just a valve stem, that's also your air pressure monitoring system. It's completely independent, it's not tied into anything else, and while you're going down the road, it's going to constantly monitor that. If you do lose air pressure, it's going to show up on your dashboard. It looks like a horseshoe with an exclamation point in it. The horseshoe is actually supposed to resemble a tire going flat. Okay? Your mirrors right here on the side, they break away in both directions. That way you don't lose them at the Walmart parking lot, okay? On here you notice that these have the turning beacon, and it also has a defrost mechanism on it right there. Now the whole side of this vehicle is reinforced with a tubular barring. I'm teaching a class now. Okay? The whole side of the vehicle is reinforced with a tubular barring system instead of a flat bar system. Flat bars will crumble immediately. Cylinders have a natural tendency to hold their shape. They got to compress before they'll bend over, so inherently this vehicle is more side impact resistant. On the inside, You got a bucket scoop design right here for your glove box, so if you have to reach over while you're driving down the road, like say you had it filled with golf balls, okay, they're not going to all fly out onto the floor. Okay. This right here is your fuse panel. It's really easy to get to. You got a multi-tool right there to pull your fuses, like if there's light out in your cabin or something like that. The display is right here. It tells you all the fuses, and then you have backup fuses in there too, so you can switch out really easy. Right here, you have airbag system here and here. These are third generation two-stage deployment airbags. They react according to the force of impact. So if you had a minor impact and it was just enough to activate the airbags, you would actually hear it bloom out twice. But if it was rapid impact, the bag's going to be right there in front of you. That, with the emergency load limiters on your seat belts and things like that, it really got a lot of safety features in this. Best part about these bags is after the collision is over with, they will deflate, retract, pull away from your face. So if you lost consciousness, you don't have a bag right there on your face.
I like that.
Now, you have air curtains that will deploy down past the seal of the window, and you have side impact airbags too. You're completely surrounded by airbags. You have reinforcement stanchions on each side and A-pillar arms, and a good strong spine going across the top. This is not a roll cage like in NASCAR, but it's very similar to one. So you're pretty safe. The back seat, right here, pretty versatile. Do you have any children in your family?
I'm expecting one.
You're expecting one? Well, when that child seat comes along, you already got the latch system right here. These are your anchor points, right here and here. Your back flip is right here. When the baby seat is anchored in there properly, it makes it a lot safer for your baby because the baby seat actually becomes almost like part of the car seat, and it's not being held just by a seat belt, which could twist. Okay? And as I said earlier, in the back, you got a little bit of storage room right there. But this is what's really neat. You can lift it up, and you notice that the passengers back here are almost like floating above the ground because the seats actually rest on their haunches right there. You got a little storage space underneath too. So it's a very comfortable ride in the back seat. Right here would be for like a DVD player. Now this can hold about a 7.5-inch screen, but it could actually be installed with a larger screen if you would like to. They come with 2 wireless headsets and remote controls. And the back window right here is power. It's got an 18-minute timer on the defrost so you don't overheat your glass. If you look right here, you see the frame of the vehicle? That's a full box frame construction. That's a sign of a true truck. From head to toe, full box frame. This whole vehicle right here could be put on a 45-degree torsion. The bed will not touch the cab. And you'd still be able to open the door. You'd be surprised at some of the vehicles that are out there that can't do that. You look at your lens covers right here, they pull forward. It looks good, but also it makes you more visible from the side. The more visible you are, the less likely you are to be in an accident. On the tailgate, this is a very heavy gate, but if you look, I can just lift it with one finger. It's lift assist. It's these neck lifters right here on the side. They're spring loaded. Okay?
Can I take them out?
Yeah. What? The lift assist or the whole gate?
The whole gate.
Yes, you can. All you got to do is take these clips off right here, and when you lift it up, there's a hinge, and you can just pull it straight out. Okay? The bed liner is factory installed. You got Nissan's Utilitrack system that's in the bed and also completely surrounding the bed. You get 4 cleats with this, which will give you multiple tie-down points. You can put almost anything back here and secure it, fasten it down safely. Okay? You have utility lights here, a big light up on the top, so if you're doing any kind of work at night, you'll be able to see in your bed. Plus, you have a power outlet, 12 volts.
Wow, that's interesting. Tailgate. What?
Now your bumper right here does have the rear sonar system in it. When you put it in reverse, you're going to hear an audible tone. It'll start out slowly, beep, beep, beep. The more rapid it becomes, it'll eventually get to a steady tone. That steady tone will tell you that you're about 18 inches away from your target. This is a class 4 hitch. It has a 7-pin wiring harness right here. And you can tow around a lot, as we talked about earlier. One of the things that people have a problem with it towing is that if they ever had a flat, the stab goes right down the center. So they're always busting their knuckles every time they're trying to crank that tire down. Our stab goes at a 45-degree angle, so you don't even have to disconnect your trailer to change the flat. Not only that, while you're cranking it down, you can look over your shoulder and see traffic coming at you if you happen to be on the side of the road with a lot of traffic.
So what is the spare tire?
Spare tire is mounted up right up underneath here. It is a full size.
And how do I crank it down?
That's what I was just saying. The stab's right here. You take your tools.
Okay.
You're going to push it right through this hole.
Yeah.
And you're going to crank it down.
Okay.
After it touches the ground, crank it a couple more times and release the mechanism. Go ahead and pull your tire out. Change your flat. And remember that your trailer has not been disconnected the whole time.
That's good.
Okay?
I like that.
The tailgate will also lock, and these things size up very nicely for like tonneau covers, either soft or hard shell. Okay?
What is this over here?
That's the toolbox. All you gotta do is you have to take your driver's key, not the valet key. Okay? Open it up. Now this is water resistant, but it's not airtight. If it was submerged underwater for like 2 or 3 days, water would eventually crawl through there. But the reason why they made it that way is if you had like a can of WD-40 in there and it ruptured out, you don't want it to be airtight, it would blow your door out. Okay, so all you got is a tray inside here. You do have some storage underneath it as well. Hold some of your emergency tools or flares or things like that. Okay? Now this vehicle does run on regular gas, 87 anti-knock index, and we're already equipped for flex fuel. So if we start going green using ethanol, this will run just fine. Every time you do fill up your truck though, make sure you always click it 3 times. That's the #1 reason why you get a check engine light. Okay? Come out to the front, go ahead and have a seat. Now, inside here, you have adjustable pedals, your gas, and your brake. They have a 3-inch variance on it. This just increases your degree of comfort because some people have longer legs or shorter legs or things like that. Some people like to lay the seat back and scoot it up forward. So you got a lot of different ways that you can get comfortable with this just because of that one feature alone. But then you also have a 6-way switch right here. It goes front, back, up, down, tilt, tilt. And then you have your recline and your incline. Do you usually like to have your seat rolled back?
I like to lean back.
Okay. Look at your headrest. You can see it right there. See how it kind of bends forward? If you look at a lot of other cars right now, if you rolled your seat back, the headrest went back too. So if you're laying back, you're usually pushing your head forward. That can increase a lot of strain on you if you're driving long distances. These headrests come forward to support the ground of your head right there. Makes you a little bit more comfortable while driving down the road. You have your tilt right here. On your lights, I put it on auto. You don't have to touch them again. Anytime you need lights on, it'll come on automatically. These are the controls for your stereo, volume, and your presets. And then this is for your telephone. You can go ahead and sync that up. It's really easy to do. All you have to do is talk to the vehicle. It'll tell you what to do. And then the passcode's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll set it up for you before you leave today.
Okay.
Okay? This is your cruise control on this side. And we'll go ahead and have you turn the key over just for a second so you can see the center cluster right there, which is going to give you a lot of information as well. On your info button right there, right now it's telling us the outside temperature. You can go through all your maintenance history, or not your history, but your settings.
Here.
Go one forward. There you go. Now right now it's giving us a warning indicator saying that the door is open. Okay. That right there is your miles per gallon. Now that's a flex screen right there. It'll constantly calculate it. If you're in not traffic, but in the city, it's going to flex a lot. This one right here is the one that I use every day. And you can reset it. It'll recalibrate every mile, and it'll tell you exactly what kind of gas mileage you're getting. This is most accurate when you're on the interstate. And in my Titan, I was getting about 22, maybe 23 miles per gallon.
How many miles I'm supposed to get in this Titan?
Well, it depends on what kind of driver you are. It's, you know, any vehicle is just like a human body. The more food you need is because of how much activity you are participating in. Okay? So if you demand more from your truck, if you're driving it quick, you're going to need more fuel. If you drive sensibly, doing about 60, 65 on the interstate, you're going to get that 20 to 23 miles per gallon. Range, 359 miles. That's how much you have left on this tank of gas.
On one tank?
On one tank. And then it goes back to the outside temperature again. Yeah, if you give me just a second, I'm going to walk around and I'm going to show you a few things on your presets right there. This is the Rockford Fosgate stereo system. It's got a 6 CD changer, MP3 and WMA. Okay. This is your CD. It also will switch over to the DVD because, like I said, you can install a DVD player in this vehicle. They do come equipped with it also for the factory if you like.
Okay.
The radio goes through, there's your AM, FM, XM radio, and then your auxiliary for like an iPod or something like that. And then the rear is once again for like the DVD. Okay, if you hit that, you'll go ahead and isolate it. That way the kids can listen to the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, and then you can listen to your radio up in the front. Okay. Seek and track, tune, folder and category. That's all the menu options for like your iPod or your CD players or your radio. And then scan and repeat, display. This is your hours and minutes for your clock. And if you have like your six favorite CDs, all you gotta do is push and hold the load button down for a few seconds and it'll say all load. You go ahead and drop all 6 of your CDs inside there. If you want to take one of those out, just go ahead and tap the eject button and then hit the number, like number 4. If you want to change them all out, go ahead and just push and hold this down. It'll do all eject and everything will come out. Your hazard lights right here, high and low for your heating. VDC, do you know what that is?
No.
That's vehicle dynamic control.
What does it do?
Well, if you're going through a turn, you know how you feel that, like that tugging, that invisible force that's tugging you? Your truck will feel that too while you're going through a turn. If you're going too fast and you start to skid out, the vehicle knows what direction you're going, but it also knows what direction you're trying to go. So it would, basically, it's going to kill the power through the transmission or force you to slow down so you'll pull through that turn. Tow mode right there. If you're pulling a trailer or something like that, like say we had to evacuate again, you got a U-Haul trailer. If you put it in tow mode, what that's going to do is it's going to increase the time between shifting. So in first gear, if it's normally like that, it would keep it in first gear longer to give you more torque on the low end. This is a gated shifter right here. It gives you better control of your shifting. If you were driving down the road and you had that trailer behind you, you had to stop again, maybe you were on a hill, you might want to go ahead and drop it all the way down into first gear so that you can control it yourself. Or you can you just use your tow mode. Okay? You got a big cargo area right here. This right here is just a panel for like future accessories, like if you did that DVD and you wanted to put your AV cables right through there. Okay?
What is this right here?
That right there is just an accessory port for like if you had a 4-wheel drive. Okay, that's where the dial would go. Then you have your cell phone outlets on each side, and right up here, that's for your mirror in the back. Not your mirror, but your window in the back.
Wow.
Yep. This right here is the microphone for your phone. So while you're driving down the road, if the phone comes on and you start talking, please don't talk to your radio. All you got to do is pay attention to what's going on in front of you. Just drive down the road and speak in a normal voice. The vehicle's very well insulated. The people will hear you just fine. You don't need to yell or scream. Okay?
All right.
Then you got your home link system right here. Garage door security, lights for your house. You can program this for 2 houses. This sensor box right here, you know it's on when the green light's on. And what this does, it'll see drivers come up back of you at night, it sees the light, and it'll auto dim your mirror. So you never have to adjust it. You notice there's no flip bar. Like that. And everybody has to have cool shades. So that's the spot for your cool shades.
That's good.
A little bit more storage up on the top.
This is good too.
Lid vanities, and you have 2 of them. So you can go like this, and these extend all the way back. So you got plenty of sunshade, and you don't have to keep flipping this back and forth if you're on a windy road.
That's interesting. I like this vehicle, man. I just want to see how you can, make me a good deal.
That's not a problem. Let's go ahead and start it up and drive back to the dealership.
All right.
That's it.
I'm interested. Just hook me up.